Hello, I am Yogini Sunita, and this is Meditation, Yoga, and Stuff podcast. I believe my dharma or my life's purpose is to share my understanding of meditation, yoga, and Ayurveda, holistic healing science of India. I make these amazing wisdoms accessible and adaptable for present times. So let's start.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. Today I'm going to continue answering your questions. So this episode is, we can say, part 2 of answering your questions. So the first question is, does Ayurveda help with eating disorders? The answer is yes, Ayurveda can help with eating disorders. And how Ayurveda look at human being is that it's not just that condition what's happening in person's life. So Ayurveda always look at the bigger picture. So in Ayurveda we'll take consideration that why this is happening in person's life in this moment. We'll take a look at past, we'll take a look at understanding of the mind, we take a look at the lifestyle, we will also consider what is the trigger to have this condition. And usually eating disorders and things like that are deeply seated into the mental makeup. So in Ayurveda, maybe we'll suggest some spiritual practices or maybe meditation practices. So in Ayurveda, we'll take consideration the whole picture. Because human is multi-dimensional being. Say, for example, eating disorder is not just sprouted like that. There must be reason behind it. So we will start searching for that reason. And sometimes the client may not want to go there. And that's why they are actually maybe asking for help through eating disorder. So first we'll look at the emotional state, mental state, physical state. And there will be suggestions in lifestyle, in how to bring in more mental peace, a better mental health. We'll also look at the maybe spiritual side as well, because some belief in something is very powerful. And so if the person has something they believe in, then we will encourage them to, kind of like connect with that divine, whatever they believe the divine is. And all this can help them with understanding that what's happening in their mind, in their body, with their health. And slowly and steadily, it will help them to move towards a healthy diet, positive diet. Now, here we need to understand that Ayurveda, as I said, it takes a bigger picture. That means Ayurveda practitioner will take ask a lot of questions, which may feel a bit weird or may feel like why they are asking me all this. But there is a reason for that. Like, for example, we'll ask about how is your digestion, what is your morning routine. We'll ask about, what's happening with your mind, and in different ways, like not directly, but there will be questions about that. There will be questions about your sleep. And people say, well, I have eating disorder. Why are you asking about sleep? But remember that everything is connected. And Ayurveda is basically science of relationships. So Ayurveda understands that it's a human dimensions or multi-dimensional being. Every dimension needs to come back into balance to heal. So how can we heal this person? That will be the question. And also the responsibility also lies with the person. They need to take that responsibility of their health, and that will then become more easier for them to deal with this digestive issues and also eating disorders and things like that. So there is a lot of intuition, there is a lot of, we can call it, like in modern word, we can call it, a lot of coaching happens. But Ayurveda does help with eating disorder. Also, every individual is a unique fingerprint of divine. So what works for one person may not work for other person. So every person will have different strategy and technique and treatments, and that's what Ayurveda is so beautiful, because it recognizes that you are unique fingerprint of divine. So what you need may be completely different than anyone else, and that's okay. So Ayurveda practitioner may give you the practices or suggestions which are really uniquely tailor-made for you. So this is how Ayurveda look at not just this eating disorder, but any disorder, any health condition. So I hope that I answer that question. Next question is about dharma. In my podcast intro, I'm talking about my dharma is to share wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda. And the listener wanted to know a little bit more about dharma, because their understanding of word dharma is that it is a religion. So let me explain the word dharma. So word dharma has really a beautiful meaning. It means that your eternal path or your way of living or your purpose of your life. So these are all true meaning of dharma. And from the wisdom of yoga, we human being, there is some purpose of our life. So when we are on this earth, the purpose of our life, there is some purpose which we need to search and fulfill this purpose. And till we are not on the path of our purpose or fulfilling our purpose, there will be suffering. What happens that when we are not on the path of our dharma, then we get a tap on our head kind of thing. Again, this is analogy. Not really truly get trapped on our head, but maybe somehow we kind of like steer towards our dharma. And when we start the practices like meditation, yoga in our life, we start realizing, we become more sensitive, more aware of what's happening in our life. The energy system, we start tuning into energetically what's happening in our life. We start noticing that when I'm doing something in my life, I feel really at ease and I feel at home. So for me, when I'm sharing wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda and meditation, I feel at home. I feel this is the only way I can explain it. I feel that really peace within myself when I'm doing this. I look forward to do this. This is what something which wakes me up every morning. This is my, we can call it passion. This is my drive. I really am not connected with the outcome in a way. Like, I'm doing this from the bottom of my heart. And this is dharma. This is the way, like kind of like finding your purpose. You may have heard like, artists doing their art, they forget to eat. And they completely devoted to creating that beautiful art, or a singer singing from bottom of their heart, and you literally in tears. All this is basically they connected with really who they are and they're following their dharma. If they leave that or something like that, it's basically feel like they're not complete. So this is what the feeling of dharma is, where it is your drive, you need to follow it. This need is so deep that you cannot rest, like you have to be on this path. And for me, I have done my master's in computers, I have worked in corporate world, but back of my mind always constantly coming back to on this path. And I now look back and I see that how my life is designed to be here in this moment to share this wisdom with the world. And so for me, that is dharma, that is my life's purpose. Yes, there are meaning like, religion, but we are actually clipping the wings of the word dharma there. So the way is the word, it means that eternal living. The eternal living, what is your eternal living? Is your living with your purpose. And that is dharma. No one else can tell you what is your dharma. It is you who need to connect with that. It is your understanding, your connection within yourself. When we start a union within ourselves, with our body, mind, soul, when we have the state of yoga, we can reach to our dharma. And it may happen this lifetime, it may not, that's okay. Just stay tuned, just be present and try and find out what makes you feel at home. For me, sharing this wisdom, participating in any yoga asana or meditation or breathing practices, all this makes my heart sing. I am constantly reading about this. Yoga, Ayurveda, meditation has been such a huge part of my life that we can say 90 to 99% of my life is this. Obviously, the life happens, the relationships and everything, but it is from these glasses of dharma, I could say. So dharma for me is my life's purpose. I hope that this helps you to find your own dharma. So the next one is, someone is asking about the wellness tribe and what I'm talking about, the 8 dimensions of wellness. Another question is, what is mastermind? And how does it connect with yoga and Ayurveda? Okay, so I'll explain these two things. So let's talk about the Wellness Mastermind program I offer, and I call it the Wellness Tribe. And it is a mastermind program which is online community where we actually take the principles of mastermind group. So what is mastermind group? Is basically coming together and growing together. A lot of time it is in the relation to think and grow rich kind of thing, right? But here I have taken these principle of mastermind groups and I have married it to wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda. So let me explain what I mean. In mastermind group, there is basically concept is coming together for individuals who are committed to their path of committed to something. Okay, so what that is depending on the group's intention. The Wellness Tribe's intention is to bring wellness or optimal health in all aspects of our life, or all 8 dimensions of our life. And Wellness Tribe's principles are deeply based into wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda. The concept is, the group is smaller group. It's not really huge community, but it is very supportive community, very close-knit community. Now, there is also very important that there has to be trust and confidentiality, because this is where maybe because the wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda and also this group is so deeply connected with each other, the members should feel comfortable sharing their goals, their challenges, their ideas, and helping each other. So it's a very supportive environment. So the trust and confidentiality is very important. There is also structure to this group. So mastermind group always has structure. So there will be meetings. So we have 2 monthly Zoom meetings. And also this frequency is there, like first Monday of the month we meet, and also middle Wednesday of the month. And the time is such that people from all over the world can join us. Then it is online. The reason for that is that it's more convenient to have this an online community. For everyone, those who are participating can, even though they have full-time jobs and things like that, they can still join it. Then we work on goal setting. So the first part of this wellness tribe, our first chapter, we can say, is goal setting. It's very important to have a goal. So each member will set their individual goal, and it depends on what is important to them. And so in Wellness Tribe, there will be also resources. So or mastermind groups, there will be resources. So there is a tremendous amount of resources available. The participants needs to go through the first chapter where they are going to set the goal for themselves. It depends on 8 dimensions of wellness. I will talk about 8 dimensions of wellness in few minutes. Now, the goal setting will depend on the individual's challenges, their needs, their specific intention, and this is all about setting specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound goals. These are called SMART goals. So, we'll help you to understand like how can we set the goal, and then that will help you to drive towards that goal. And then the second chapter goes into once you have this goal, then we start taking wisdom of Ayurveda and yoga and meditation, and we weave that into making this goal happen. There is also accountability, so you may choose an accountability partner in the group where you can connect with this person, where you can work together, help each other to grow and fulfill your commitment, fulfill your goal. Once you fulfill one goal, you can then take the next goal, and so on. On top of all this, we also have in the group meetings or the Zoom meetings, I will be there to help you with any questions you have on this path of the journey of attaining your goals. So because we are all unique fingerprint of divine, there may be a question about this has come up for me, how can I handle it? And so I will be helping you with that. And there are also other group members who are also healers. They will help you with that as well. Then what happens that once every month we'll be taking one positive habit. So everyone in the group is taking that positive habit, and we are working on that, and we are stacking on those habits. So every month we are taking one positive habit. We are exploring that, and if something comes up, we are going to share with each other as well. But by end of that month, we should have that habit as our own habit, and then we'll be building up on the next habit. And these are all based into wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda, and these are also very life transforming habits. And also, if you have any questions, or if you want to communicate about your issues you're having about this habit, or if there is anything you is not working for you, then I will help you to modify that habit according to your need. Your commitment is you are joining the group for 12 months, and the reason for that is all these habits, if you want life transforming experience, your commitment is very valuable, so you don't have to pay upfront. That's not the point. You still be paying monthly, but your commitment from your heart is that you will be here for 12 months. And in these 12 months, you will go deeper and deeper into the experience of wisdom of yoga, Ayurveda, and your better self. Basically, you are bringing in more and more positive goals in your life. So you will be thriving on 8 dimension. So let's take a look at 8 dimension. As I said that we are multi-dimensional beings. So we're going to focus on 8 dimensions. So you may choose physical dimension, you may choose spiritual dimension, you may choose emotional, financial, or occupational dimension. And then mental comes under emotional. So mental and emotional is one, but then I have also created more resources for every of these dimension. Then relationship building and thriving in our relationships as well. So that is the 6th dimension. 7th dimension is stages of life. So every time we need to tune into like what's happening in our life, what stage of life we are. And from Ayurvedic point of view, we have 4 stages of life. And so we take that understanding and we weave that into like, how can we bring in practices according to our stage of life we are in. And it's a very powerful way of including the practices in our life. And also environmental. This is where not just the environment in the nature, but also environment in our house, our home environment, so living sustainable habits, natural resources, all this thing, promoting clean, healthy environment, all these things will come under that. And so we explore each and every dimension, and you can choose what you want to work on. So this is what the Wellness Tribe Mastermind Group is all about. And you can join anytime. It is evergreen. That means that you can join anytime. You have resources, and I will be there every step of the way to help you. I hope that this explains Wellness Tribe. And I wish to see you there, because if you are curious about it, that means that your psyche is telling you to do something about it. Wellness Tribe is a very welcoming, very beautiful group, and the members are absolutely amazing. So feel free to join us. I would love to see you there. Feel free to book a 15-minute Zoom call to see if this Wellness Tribe is for you, and also see how you can adapt it into your life. I'm happy to help you with that. So I will put the link below in the show notes so that you can click on the link and you can take a look at a landing page where I have given more information. Also, you can click the link there where you can book a 15 minutes wellness clarity Zoom call, and I'm looking forward to see you there. This next question is about the platforms I use to create my digital courses, and a little bit more information about that, how easy to use they are, and things like that. Here is my little blurb about that. Okay, so I have tried multiple platforms, like there were a lot of exploration done. And so for my website, I use LearnDesk. So there are two of that, Learn Dash and LearnDesk. So LearnDesk and Learn Dash. So let me explain about first thing about my website. My website is a WordPress, and so it needs more technical stuff. And so I'm using Learn Dash for that. But I had really horrible experience with something called LearnDesk, which sounds similar and can be very confusing. So this is a company called LearnDesk.us. And this company has gives you a lot of Zoom. In Zoom call they give you a lot of information and stuff like that, and they kind of like tell you that it is just 1 year thing. And so I became their member. I thought I'll try it for 1 year, and the Zoom call orientation was quite really amazing, communication, all that. But even though they say that it is 1 year, they hook you into subscription, and they basically hook you into their system, and it is so big no. Another reason I became part of that, because they promised a lot of, they say that they have this many followers, this many memberships, so they will help to sell the courses and things like that. And any digital course creator is looking for platform like that where they will get more audience. And so this is all really in Zoom call. They show you this is what you will get and all that. But unfortunately, this is nothing written, which I realized later. They say they have these members, but what happens that when you create a course, all your clients will have to go through and become their member, and then they can access the course. When I realized that, I just stopped using that platform, but they still took money from me for the second year. Immediately, I contacted them. I said, look, pay me back, and because I'm not continuing, but literally zilch, no, nothing from them. And so this is my horrible experience with this LearnDesk. So please do not become part of LearnDesk.us. Now, LearnDash, however, is fantastic. So LearnDash is what I'm using on my website. It is really wonderful. And this it has been really supportive for my website, really, smooth selling, really good. It is a bit technical, but it can be doable. And for my membership, though, I'm using something else. So for membership, I'm using ThinkFic. So ThinkFic is another platform which I found very easy to access and follow. The reason for that is I also have a little bit understanding of the technical side because I've done my master's in computer, so I can use that. But having said that, it has been ages ago, right? So now ThinkFic has made it quite user friendly. Their support is not too bad, but usually if you put the question in their chat box, you get a lot of clear instructions, So, and you can, for me, it was very important to keep my community private and, and so you can keep your community, away from all the hustle bustle because it's really, for me, the wellness tribe was something which was we can call it private. It is not like a public thing. It is not like a Facebook community thing. Even though we can do it on Facebook, a lot of my clients were not comfortable to be on Facebook at all. And so this particular platform is really fantastic, and you can actually combine community. In that community, you can add courses and stuff like that. So I found that's quite good. I have tried some other platforms as well, like Kajabi and all that, but I find Kajabi a bit expensive. Again, this is my opinion. Kajabi is, one platform for everything, but for me, moving existing to Kajabi was a big hassle. And I'm also waiting for what is going to happen with AI now coming into play, and it may be very easy to create your digital courses. Who knows, like the AI is going to open up more doors for, digital content maker and things like that. So maybe you can wait a little bit and see where this is heading. But these are the platforms I use. I explore quite few things, and I settled on now ThinkPic for my community, and I settled for Learn Dash for my courses on my website, and they both are quite fantastic. The next question is about Ayurveda diet, and this question is that I find it very restricting, the Ayurveda's diet. How can you say that it is freedom? So I think one of my podcasts I was explaining, and I will explain again, like, it is not diet. It is not diet. It is a way of living, okay? And B, it is, again, not a restriction, but it is freedom. So here we need to understand what is our dosha or our Ayurvedic constitution. So once we understand what is our Ayurvedic constitution, we understand ourselves better. So what happens now that, in modern life, we are exploring different diets, different food, and that's okay. But also, if we understand that if it is according to our dosha and how it affects our dosha, then we can actually look after ourselves better. Let's try and understand that Ayurveda's diet, it is really a lifestyle choice. So if person, say for example, is Vata, or air and space dominant person, where the person will have thin, lanky body, very dry skin, dry hair, constipation. These are the common things in Vata person. Clickety joints, stiff joint, or maybe at a young age very bendy body, but then hardly put on any weight. But at older age, stiff joint, a lot of dryness. So dryness into colon, dryness into digestion, dryness into skin, hair, all this is Vata. So if you notice yourself, if you fit in this category, then Ayurveda will suggest you to reduce food which is Vata inducing. So, say if person have this Vata constitution, this Vata, VATA, Vata constitution is very drying, as I mentioned. So, how can we balance that? So, we need to then balance it with introducing good oil in the food, so oily food kind of thing. So, I'm not saying that eat deep fried food, but then Ayurveda suggests that having a raw teaspoon of good raw oil in your diet, eat cooked food, eat warm food, eat nourishing food. And so instead of salad, Ayurveda will suggest eat soup or steam vegetables, drink warm water. Ayurveda will suggest to have food which is nourishing, warm, and this will give a lot of grounding, this will give a lot of support to the digestive system. This is not really diet, this is a way of living. So we need to understand that this is something we take on board for life. But also, it's very important that we cannot be too rigid. Ayurveda understands that, in Ayurveda we call it like, 80% you try and follow the rule as much as possible. So those 20% when you do not follow, you still sustain yourself. Say, for example, if throughout the week you are following the Ayurvedic diet, Ayurvedic suggestion of the intake of the food, then on weekend, if when you are with your friends, you can have, a little bit late dinner and stuff like that. So you can actually start bringing more balanced life. You start understanding yourself better, and why we need to eat according to Ayurveda's suggestion is basically it reduces the creation of ama, which is the toxic morbid waste of our digestive system, which if it continues happening, it manifests as illness. How can we reduce that? That's how Ayurveda look at it. How can we reduce that? And when we reduce ama, we feel more energetic, we sleep better, there is less pain in our life, and there are so many positive things. So it's really up to you. You can look at it from diet point of view, or you can look at it as this is here to heal me, help me, and this is here to a way of my living, basically, And when we acknowledge that, when we reduce this struggle in our mind, we actually can really flourish and we can live very healthy, happy life. I hope that I answered your question. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate all the questions. I have tried to ask as many as I can. If there are many questions or more questions you have, please feel free to email them to me, and I will try my best to answer them maybe after a few weeks. But looking forward to hear from you. Really appreciate you. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate that you're taking this time out of your day. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye for now.